Hey, welcome back to the Ping Pong Flix Show. My name is Chris Wong. Aloha Friday. At least for me, it's been quite a week with a ton of DC content, and I'm really happy to be able to do this. The ending of Friday, the ending of the week, there has been one major update for one major film, and something about Superman and Lois as well, and even maybe more clarification if you are still on the fence on whether Zack Snyder's Justice League is canon in the theatrical universe or not. Well, we finally got your answer. So, but of course, before all of that, I would like to thank my newest member of the Ping Pong Flix Show. Thank you so much, Timothy Collins, for joining the Ping Pong Flix Show. Thank you so much. And like I said, if you want to join as part of the member of the Ping Pong Flix Show family, there is a link down below. There's probably a hot dog right next to it, and it says join. So be sure to do that. But I'll have to thank all my members of the Ping Pong Flix Show, including my mispronounced name yesterday. I'm so sorry. It's not Dobie, it's Doobie. Thank you so much, Doobie, for joining in yesterday. And of course, the rest of the Ping Pong Flix Show family. Thank you so much. You guys and girls are the lifeline of the Ping Pong Flix Show. And I have to thank each and every one of you, including all the subscribers. Thank you so much for subscribing in and watching or trying to watch daily for DC content. All right, on with the show. The first thing I have to talk about is a production update for Superman and Lois, the CW show that is coming out next year. There was an update beforehand, and I think you remember this, that Elizabeth Tulloch, the girl who plays Lois Lane, she said that she had to go into quarantine because that's just safety procedures where they have to take a test, make sure they're not positive before they can get to work like 2 weeks later. But it seems that day is here at hand, and she tweeted this out today, reunited with my boys, Tyler Hoechlin, Jordan Elsass, and Alex Garfin. They're all together there. They're probably either looking on site or maybe table reading, script reading. Not quite sure what's going on here, but basically it's pretty much beginning to, go into production now, which is rather fascinating and really cool. Batwoman and the other CWs have been delayed, so I'm not sure how much delay they can do here, but at least maybe they could actually see like the suit in which Elizabeth Tulloch had put that on her Instagram. She said, just saw a pic of the suit yesterday and I loved it. So I can't wait to see the suit. I want to see what Tyler Hoechlin's suit is going to look like. I think it's probably going to be a lot different. And I think in terms of form fitting, the producers had said before that the suit that he wore during Crisis, it wasn't, they just did it for that. And it wasn't the suit that he's going to have in Superman and Lois. So I'm wondering what that suit like in Superman Lois is going to be. And I'm wondering how form-fitting is going to be. It's going to be very tight. You're going to see a lot more of that muscle. And I hope so. I wonder if it's going to even have the underwear. Are they going to go back to the underwear? They kind of did it with Kingdom Come, but I get it because Kingdom Come is essentially that iconic look that's an Alex Ross drawing. So I don't think so. I think it's still going to be underwearless, and it will be maybe it will even look a little bit more like Man of Steel or like his cousin Supergirl. So I'm getting ready to look at that, and I'm hoping it looks pretty damn awesome. So that's it for Superman and Lois. All right, probably the biggest news of the day in regards to the Flash movie. Billy Crudup is in talks to join the Flash. This is coming from the Hollywood Reporter. I'm going to read you the article here. Billy Crudup in talks to join the Flash, exclusive from the Hollywood Reporter. It's deja vu as Crudup would rejoin a project he was associated with for years and several directors and writers ago. Billy Crudup, fresh off his Emmy win for Apple's The Morning Show, is in early negotiations to join Ezra Miller in The Flash, Warner Brothers' feature project based on the DC superhero. Rejoin may be the better term here, as Crudup has been associated with a long gestating project since 2016. He was cast to play the father to Barry Allen, aka The Flash, by Rick Famuyiwa, but that director departed in October of that year. By March 2018, John Francis Daly and Jonathan Goldstein were the helmers, but left a year later. Annie Muschietti now sits in the director's chair as the movie runs towards a shoot in London in 2021. Crudup stayed on for a while, but as the directors and writers' shares shifted out, he eventually moved on. Their actor, however, did play the part of Alan's father in one scene in 2017's Justice League, and also in 2021, Zack Snyder's Justice League. Just saying, Crudup is now making a new deal for Flash, which is suddenly one of the hottest projects on the Warner's lot, thanks for the bifecta of having Michael Keaton and Ben Affleck reprising fan-favorite incarnations of Bruce Wayne and Batman. Kiersey Clemons was also hired to play a key role in The Flash at the same time as Crudup. At this stage, it is unclear whether there is interest on both sides or availability for her to return. The script, whose latest draft was written by Christina Hodson, sees the Flash go back in time to prevent the murder of his mother, an act that proves to have unintended consequences for his timeline. I mean, like changing characters and stuff, probably. So there's going to be some big Flashpoint stuff there. So that's the article from the Hollywood Reporter. And I gotta say, I'm really excited. And we've seen the call sheet before. His name was on the call sheet. Billy Crudup was always there. Kiersey Clemons, on the other hand, it's still up in the air. I think back in May, there was a report reportedly that they were looking to recast Iris West and actually looking for a new Iris West. So I don't know if Kiersey Clemons still is gonna head and still do that or not. I hope so. She's gonna be Kiersey. She's gonna be Iris West as Zack Snyder's Justice League, but that may not necessarily have to be canon per se, and I'll explain that in the next topic. But Billy Crudup in talks to join the Flash. Awesome. That's awesome. It's great to hear that. And usually when they're say in talks, especially when the Hollywood Reporter or Deadline or Variety reports it, it kind of means it's already in place. They just haven't really actually put an official newsletter out. But a lot of times it just means they've already there. Like if you imagine Aldous Hodge when he had in talks for Black Adam as the Hawkman, like literally 10 minutes later it was confirmed on Instagram. I don't know if Billy has a Instagram or a Twitter account. Maybe he cannot go out and just go out in the world and says, I am Henry Allen for the Flash. I don't think so. So I want to say when the Hollywood Reporter and these bigger trades actually say in talks, I want to say that's probably a good green light go ahead by now. I'm still hoping for Kiersey Clemons. I think she will be, maybe. But if it's not, it might not, matter too much. And what I want to say about that, because we never saw her Iris West in the 2017 Justice League, right? And in all intents and purposes, I think Zack Snyder himself may have already shed light on this whole Zack Snyder's Justice League, that it's not canon, right? I think he's even talked to it on that interview with Grace Randolph. He's talked about it with even Sean O'Connell. I'll actually play a clip for you but he has talked in length that his version, his universe, his Snyderverse, actually not Spider-Verse, Snyderverse actually is going to be on HBO Max, and he likes that idea. It's Man of Steel, BVS, and Zack Snyder's Justice League, his 5-part arc. That's his essentially Snyderverse, and he doesn't have to worry about trying to juggle other things, other aspects of the other universes, the theatrical universes. And I know we're debating about that off and on, even though Zack Snyder said himself that he's only concentrating on his specific universe over on HBO Max. But I thought we'd get to hear a little clip from Sean O'Connell right here. This is coming from the Zack Snyder Bottle. They pulled a clip from a Cineblend Q&A, and it's a Cineblend's. Sean O'Connell reveals a little bit of what Zack Snyder told him in his interview for Release the Snyder Cut book about Zack Snyder's Justice League and its relation to the current DCEU. So there's a link to the 40 minutes Q&A if you want to go check it out. I'll put it in the description below. But here is that little portion from that Q&A.
At Bat Kilmer wants to know, I know Zack has said his Justice League is its own universe, but do you think they'll canonize it given the attention it's getting?
No, I don't think so. I think if Zack has used the term Elseworld, and he wants it to sort of exist separate from the canon that's going on in the DCEU. And this is, I can point to a quote that Zack gave me for the book that I'm writing on this Snyder Cut movement. And cheap plug, it's called Release the Snyder Cut. It's available for pre-sale right now.
I'll put a link down in the description.
Hey, thanks, Hannah. He has said he actually loves the fact that it's disconnected from the DCEU and that it can be its own thing and try crazy things that don't disrupt the ongoing continuity of what they're trying to do on the theatrical side. He told me personally that the weight of expectation that comes with having to juggle all the different storylines and not just focus on your individual story was exhausting. And he's really happy to not be part of that anymore. So no, I don't think that what he does in here is going to be canon. And that's weird because Ezra Miller, Jason Momoa, Gal Gadot, they're all still moving forward as part of other storylines. And I think that fans are going to have to sort of pay attention to the fact that what's happening in the Snyderverse is disconnected from what's happening in the DCEU. Although the only wild card with that is that Flash movie and the multiverse, and that could just sort of literally put a spin a roulette wheel that sends things off in all different directions, and it might justify the reason that we have the existence of a Snyderverse. So we'll see how that all plays out. But no, I don't think this stuff that we're seeing in the Snyderverse is going to be considered as canon. I think it's truly separate, and Zack is happy that way.
Do you think fans are going to have a hard time with that? Not necessarily like the diehard Snyder fans, but just casual superhero fans are going to be really bothered by the fact that it doesn't necessarily connect to the Aquaman sequel coming up and the Wonder Woman sequel coming up.
Sure, because fans get upset by everything, essentially. They'll either think it's really cool, that you're getting actors who can do different interpretations of the characters. Like Jason Momoa could do something totally different with James Wan versus what he's doing in the Snyderverse. I think we're sophisticated enough to sort of figure that out.
So that was Sean O'Connell talking about Zack Snyder's Justice League and his comments that came directly from Zack Snyder himself, that Zack Snyder is actually pretty happy that he doesn't have to juggle with the entire DC Extended Universe, DCEU, and only concentrating on the Snyderverse over on HBO Max. That is his canon. That's his story. That's his arc that possibly be in the entirety of HBO Max. But I think that we should all agree that is actually better for Zack Snyder. Zack Snyder is happier doing that, and I think we should respect that. But also at the same time, it does give you clues. It does give you the opportunity for the theatrical Warner Brothers, especially those that honestly don't want to work with Zack Snyder. That gives them the opportunity to continue that storyline off from the Justice League 2017 in a way. So in a way, the Flash could essentially get a new Iris West because we've never actually seen Iris West in the Justice League version. We've seen Henry Allen Justice League, so it makes sense that Billy Crudup was supposed to be reprising his role, but the Iris West, Kiersey Clemens, still up in the air. I still hope that she does become Iris West because she signed on for that, and I hope they respect that and actually put her in the role. But if they do change her and do have another Iris West, then I could understand that as well, and it'll still work out in Warner Brothers' own theatrical canon. And so that's okay. And that's why the Flash movie, I think, is really important. It's really huge. And it's just to give the idea to show that there's multiverses out there for the general audiences who are not following along and not watching like this show daily, that they'll come to realize that there are multiple universes. If they're subscribed to HBO Max, they'll understand, okay, that's a different universe than the universe that we're seeing over on this side. And they'll understand the difference between the theatrical Justice League and the Justice League that's over on HBO Max. So I think this is great, especially for Zack Snyder in terms of what he wants. I think he's only going to concentrate on, his Snyderverse, JO Part 1, 2, and 3, and possibly some animated stuff later on. And, there could be some live action here and there, but don't expect to try to even connect really just to make it canon. I mean, if you want to believe certain things are connected to each other, sure, fine, that's great. And I think Zack Snyder gave them some opportunities to do so, but that's not exactly his universe per se. So that's in terms of Zack Snyder's Justice League is not canon to the theatrical cinematic universe. The last thing on this show is that there's possibly extra content for Zack Snyder's Justice League. Now, we talked a little bit I think we did, about that Zack Snyder wanted to put a little bit stuff after each episode to give it a cool, package for each episode, each in his mini series. And I think Grace Randolph also talked about that. He talked about it over at JusticeCon as well. So there are some things there that could be really potentially be exciting for us after each episode. But Krypton Cage put up a good point. He actually tweeted this out. Zack Snyder's Justice League will probably also have its own official podcast consisting of 4 episodes discussing parts 1 through 4 with Zack Snyder, the cast on HBO Max YouTube channel next year. What he's talking about is that Raised by Wolves has an episode 1 with Peter Haas, hosted by Holly Frey. They talk about each episode. They have little discussions here for you to check out, including the murder at White House Farm. There is a podcast for them as well. So I think that would be kind of cool to actually see that along with whatever Zack Snyder is going to provide at the end of every episode. But I think it would be great to kind of learn a little bit more about Zack Snyder's Justice League, maybe his thought processes for each episode, the shots and things like that, and maybe the the lore of all of that and what he had in mind, or what he will have in mind. And hopefully it's not just a closure per se, saying that, well, this is what I want to do and I'm not going to be able to do that. Hopefully it's still, opens, it's an open content for that. Hey, there's still going to be more, so I can't really spoil every little thing. So, but I think that's a cool thing, an added component that could come with Zack Snyder's Justice League, and the evidence is only shown by all the different, HBO Max series that are on right now that have that little extra content on the YouTube channel. So I'm really looking forward to that. All right. That is it for this Friday. It's been an incredible week, and I thank you all for subscribing and watching me daily. I can't wait to see what happens next week, what news drops next week, updates, and so on and so forth. So please join me on this adventure. Like I said, if you love this daily dose of DC content of movies, shows, and video games, please click the like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell, keep this hot dog light on, and I'll see you next time. Bye.